Hey guys, it's Targan coming at you with another game of hardcore Minecraft. And, we're here again. Same old world. Day 778, I think. I never know. Yeah, 778. There it is. The sun rises in the sky, as is its wont. And we're just gonna go and try to find some pale oak for the benefit of making one of our places a little prettier. I don't think I have enough at the moment, because we're gonna want like a bunch, right? I mean, no, that's not true. I have 100. Alright, well, I don't have to do this, but I'm already going to. I'd like to grow some trees. We don't have that many saplings, do we? We have 6. That's not enough. We're gonna go on an adventure. We need more rockets first. Right. I mean, we'll be able to make, stack and a half, got more paper on us. We don't need to do anything else. We can fight creepers on the way. We know how. Do I have arrows? Some. It's enough. Alright. So, choices. We can, like, go down the nether highway till it ends. Because that's, like, pretty quick. Of course, the nether highway doesn't, like, actually work, but it does pretend to work. You can certainly walk in a direction on it for a little while, and that's its own benefit, right? That's why we built it. Because while you're on it, you know that you are. Which I find very comforting. I forgot torches. That's okay. We won't need torches. I mean, not true, they can be very handy. We would have built this, ages ago before we learned to fly. And if you're wondering, why the symbolism? I don't remember why we did a little circular thing there to indicate to me that it definitely was supposed to be noticed. I'll do that periodically. Here there'll be a chest with some junk in it. If there's some hallway that I've dug and there's a chest, it's always got like some junk in it. I usually leave it there. The memory of the past and all. It occurs to me that if we're traveling through the nether, we should have a fire resist potion on anyway, just for the insurance. You want to be ready. You want to be ready to roll. The worst thing in the nether is if you, like, fall into the lava and then you have those moments of, like, pure did I go back? Well, if I did... No, I don't think I did. Like, yeah, no, we're still going. It's just it all looks the same, right? Right? I wouldn't have just turned around after all that time. I think it's even true. Look, if we end up having gone backwards, then I'll just fly. No, we're definitely going away, but this is Are we gonna get to, like, a portal soon, or is this just... Yes, yes. We're definitely still going. Hey, Lunchix. How are you? So you remember being here like day 600 or something? Well, welcome back, welcome back. Alright, so... I didn't even build anything to get it to build a portal, did I? Am I still on my, Is this like after I decided not to make the highway good anymore? That tracks. Yeah, I definitely dug this, right? Yeah. It's got all the hallmarks of my sloppy decision-making, you know. The multiple guests? Oh yeah, no, we never ended up getting all of the guests set up, but we did get a lot of them. Alright. I went too far, because I was not planning unless... Look, I guess I could just fly back. That's super obnoxious. Why did I walk all the way in? Why did I forget that my nether highway didn't actually have a portal on it? Because I don't even think I brought enough obsidian in my nether. No, I don't think so. Yeah, it's annoying. Well. Oops. Didn't I want one for each color? Yes, indeed. We got a lot of them. Alright, so... I mean, it's only 700 blocks. I guess we just run back. We could fly back. That would be annoying. It could work. It could be a huge inconvenience. We could fly back. It's like, I bet we could do it real quick. That's not the way to get back. This is the way to get back. Building a highway. I was so naive then. I thought it'd be practical. No, you just fly. And then we shoot the gap right here. Nope, we miss. It's alright. I say it's alright. I'm like, we're like so close to 0-0, and yet I don't recognize anything. Ah, there we go. Waystones. This will definitely get us back to the highway, unless it doesn't. You see, the symbolic power of random black stones is like a Hansel and Gretel sort of thing. On a brawl. Maybe best day 700, you can barely best day 15. Yeah, you know, it happens gradually and then suddenly. This is the first world where I played what I would consider, like, pretty aggressively in the early game, in that I, like, went down into the deeps to get my diamonds. I jump. Alright, so in conclusion, I'm definitely sort of where I know where something is, but in a non-useful way. Like, this sort of absolutely cockamamie brainless building had to have come from somewhere, but like where? When did I do it? I don't recall. Would this have been like super early trying to find fortresses? Because it's like, this is a spur off of the main highway. The X coordinates are no help at all. Because I don't actually know where the nether portal is. We were so close to 0, we could just be like right there. Here we go. Yep, here we go. Found it. No, this way. And it'll just be over the way here. You'll know it because there's a little bit of wheat next to it. Sun's coming up over the hill. And that big flat hill of Minecraft. You say, hey, you need YouTube Premium in order to watch something while doing something else. Yeah, you know, the internet, it treats you really nicely for a while so that you'll pay attention to it. And then, you know, they, tighten the grip. But yeah, we got Cornelius Vandergast here. We got lots of guests. Some of them have names and not colors yet because I'm lazy. Some of them have names and colors, you know. We got Batgasmobile and Augustus here. Dialpengast. Gengast Khan, that's this one right here. Since we're in the neighborhood, we're going to check on Belgatai. Belgatai is this golem here. He's a big hero. He's guarding the horses. There's a lot of ne'er-do-wells here. And really, Belgatai can take out all of them. He's real tough. The problem is, of course, that he's not invulnerable. So we just show up every now and then and, you know, like, scrub some iron onto him, make him tough again. Is it bad that you only remember Guru the Chicken? Most of these guys wouldn't have been there then. We just had like one Ghast at that point, and I would have been getting all of the other ones. We might have had Gaston then, but Garuda, no. I would say Garuda is the most important figure to remember, right? Like, Garuda is sort of like the axis on which this whole thing turns. He's the boss of the crime family, right? Like, my character is not in charge. We just work for him. But we'll go say hello to the boss right now since you've remembered him. Although we're not ending quite yet for the video. We'll just come in and give him some of what he's owed. Here's Garuda. Do you remember Luca? The bird? Oh, Luca, the muscle. And then, of course, you got Bella and Tropa. But they wouldn't get their feelings hurt if you didn't remember them. They're cats, you know. They're very important members of the crime family, too. But Garuda is the thinker, you know. He's the one that you gotta watch out for. Speaking of watch out for, we wanted to get... I wanted to get a bed. I don't want to move that one. That one's like historical, right? The Dreamer used to live there until he finally moved out and got a house and a job. He just got the job the other day. He's not very good at being a butcher, but, you know, I love that for him. I'm glad that he's, you know, spreading his wings. Alright, now we got some wool so we can make a bed. We're not going to, though. We're gonna fly in a direction. While we're in the neighborhood, we might as well drop the egg off. Of course, there's a specific box for all of the eggs. Because it's Gaston's. I kind of thought maybe all the redstone blocks would just explode, but I guess that doesn't happen. If it did, we would have to make him a different throne, a non-explosive one. We can stop off and gunpowder fight. Oh, this is a nice open expanse. Yes, good, good. Plenty of cows to get in the way. That's important. You gotta... Wow. I actually totally lost them. I just took that shot because I figured maybe it would work. It didn't. That one I knew where they were. An invisible spider. They've been hitting the sauce. So you remember my profile picture was just T till these guys showed up? My profile picture was that T for like 10 years. Until he showed up and made this entirely excellent one. You know, how interesting that a person just shows up and makes that big of a difference in my life. I'm like, if I squint, I can definitely see 2 creepers over there. Hit one. Alright, okay, got a shot there. Move too much because they're behind me. Oh my goodness, yes! That's the old video game skills coming in right there. You see, by clicking on a screen in a specific way, I prove that I'm a gamer. That's just like, that's my 2,000 hours on Mountain Blade plus Minecraft. No. It's only 1,892 hours of Mountain Blade. 2,000, you know, that's it's a bigger number than I have earned. But I keep thinking I might play Warband again one of these days. Not the same Game of Thrones mod I used to play, though, because, like... because I'm soured on that whole world. I mean, obviously I'll read the book when it comes out. It's just a mean joke. We like to have fun. Interesting fact. So I read the 5th book in the Song of Ice and Fire, the book series that Game of Thrones is based on. I read it like 12 years, something like that ago. Anyway, the 6th one's not out yet. But this is just me and everybody else's complaint. Two worlds, isn't we? Exactly. Because we've had other hardcore worlds, but... I mean, they're still preserved. Some of them. 2 of them. I think it's just 2. There were only 2 that like mattered enough to keep them, right? I would keep this one if anything ever happened, because we kept Garuda Sanctuary. That's the world where we met Garuda. We spawned in like a dark forest there, and he fell through the hole in the roof in our house of dirt. Alright. We got 11 gunpowder. Kind of pathetic, honestly. It's okay. That's enough for a bunch of rockets to get back home. You say hopefully this lasts till day 1000. Oh, I hope so. I'm not superstitious. I'm a little stitious though, but like I don't really do stuff that's very dangerous very often anymore. But I mean, the game can get very dangerous all of a sudden, and I feel like nobody appreciates that better than a hardcore player. But you know, once you get your maximum armor, and once you have your totems and stuff, it's a lot easier to feel like, well, you know, I'm just gonna play here. Because I spend so much time just doing this right here, like flying around and trying to find stuff or looking for something cool, but sometimes I find something cool, like a hole in the ground, and then I follow that hole in the ground, and then before I know it, you guessed it, another deep dark. And that's very, you know, off-putting. So you kind of want to retry hardcore? Dude, I think hardcore is awesome, and if people like Minecraft, unless they're like just very opposed to it, I think it's very worthwhile as a pursuit. Because as you may remember from my personal story, but I didn't really play a lot of normal. Well, I never played normal Minecraft. I had my peaceful world with the wheat and all, and I had mobs on a bit there, but I never like started from scratch, basically. Only at the very, very beginning before I played at all. That's on YouTube. I didn't do very well. I turned the enemies off. But hardcore, it's just the time pressure, like the genuine survival elements, like figuring out like what am I gonna do in these 10 minutes before the sun goes down? Because if you poke your head somewhere too bad, like a skeleton will get you in 3 shots. Like when you don't have a shield, it's so rough. And just like getting to like some iron that's exposed, like, oh man, like if you spawn, you look around, you see like an ocean, you're like, yes, an ocean, you know, like maybe you can get something good. You could get a shipwreck, but even better. Huh, look, I mean, there's sort of an ocean around here. They're kind of further away from water than I would assume. Oh. Interesting. Wow, it's a long way down. Ah, there's a mine shaft there. Oh, I don't have any water. Well, that can be fixed. Yeah, I could see that like having someone around would make it very much more interesting. But like there are moments that I had learning how to play hardcore that you just couldn't get any other way in Minecraft, and I think they were great fun. Of course, I was still learning a lot about the game, so they wouldn't necessarily be the same amount of available. But like in my early hardcore videos, like when we would be traveling around with Garuda from house to house, I'd like I didn't understand exactly how like going to sleep worked or whatever, so I would build like a little hole, like I would dig like so, you know, into a wall like that, you know, and then I would put a door down and a little torch in the bed, and sometimes like I would leave to go forage or whatever, and we would leave Garuda there. And then he'd probably die before getting down. Yeah, and that's the thing, like, so people, if you play on easy or whatever, maybe what you normally do is just get like a pickaxe and then go down under the earth and try to find your stuff. But in hardcore, well, it's all very real. So, like, what I do is look for what I call exposed iron, right? So, like, a biome that you probably would never care about normally is a stony shore. But a stony shore is amazing for a run on hardcore at the beginning, because you're on a boat where you can outrun basically every enemy, and that's so important. And you don't really have, like, food problems that bad while you're on a boat, compared to the speed that you're getting away from your enemies. And, see, it's just our all-craft easy mode. I've heard of that mod. But just, like, milestones like getting one piece of iron so you can get a shield. So good. Getting a couple pieces of iron for a bucket, because you get a bucket, then you can drop down water. And with water, you can run away from Endermen, which will, like, 3-shot you. I lost a Minecraft world to an Enderman. I was farming. I think that world was Garuda Sanctuary, come to that. Hello, that one. How are you? But, I was farming, and then I was just, like, growing some stuff, like some melons or whatever. I forgot torches. I mean, do I really want to go in the mine shaft? I'm not going to have pale oak there. But wait. There's more open stuff over there. Alright, we have to look. Clean. It's still a very cool little sinkhole thing, but in terms of, like, the ceiling for how cool it could have looked down there. Yeah. Or, no, iron set, shield. Shield is absolutely crucial. You have to have a shield. The bed is more important than anything else, though. Because if you just stay in the light and immediately, like, do, like I was talking about, building a little hole into a wall with a door, as soon as it lets you lay down, you'll be fine. You run around till you find a village, which shouldn't take too long, right? A village, no matter what's in it, you're always going to be able to get a bed for free, and then hopefully, something cool from the boxes, but you're definitely going to be able to get the hay bales, which are a characteristic of every village, right? I call them the hero's tribute. It's worth so much bread, and that'll really help you out in the early game too. And that's what I would say the most crucial thing is just bed and shield, because if you accidentally, even if you just, like, walk in a place that's got a little bit too much of a shadow around, like, a skeleton will kill you in three arrow hits. But, yeah, I would say, like, a lot of times people would, from what I hear talking to folks, they'll just, like, go into the earth when they play normal. You need iron before you go underground, in my opinion. And you can do it pretty easy. But, just getting on a boat to explore, and then if you see, like, a mountain, maybe climb the mountain. Because the higher you go, you might get something cool. Or, importantly, you might find somewhere awesome to live. I recognize where we're at now. This mountain has the seam of calcite, right? That runs here, and it runs incredibly far down this whole side. Which, I theorized that it was trying to generate a geode, right? maybe internally, but it ends up being this quite striking white seam through the mountaintop that I don't believe I've ever seen anywhere else. I mean, certainly it exists elsewhere in Minecraft, right? But I haven't seen one quite like it. We're gonna grab the emerald for our emeralds. But this is what I'm talking about right here, right? So you see a cool mountain and you climb it, you know, assuming that this was day one, right? And you see this, you climb up the side, it takes you a while, you get up here, sun's going down, you're like, man, I got this copper, look at all of this iron, I don't even have to go anywhere dangerous for it, except the sun's going down. But then you just go do 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 do, and you pretend you have a door, and you pretend you have a torch and a bed, and you just lay down, and then in the morning you get right back out here to getting all this stuff. And that's the secret about mountaintops. You're going to be able to get plenty of iron without exposing yourself to danger. The danger's in the climb, which isn't really that significant. I keep forgetting to bring a bed. I could make one, that's right, I got wool. I don't really need iron, but you know, everybody who's played this game knows that when you get the opportunity to take it, I mean, you usually want to take it. Not needing iron and not wanting some iron is an entirely different proposition. What if you set seed to Garuda? Oh, that's right, you can just like type words into the seed, that's right. Hello, Diego. How are you? But no, I would like I keep saying though. No, definitely try hardcore if you think you might like it. If there's any chance that you think you might, just try it out. It can be just very gratifying with the stories you can tell, and it's like, look, if you die and you can't stand to let the world go, you can just, like, convert it to creative or whatever, right? You know, there are ways. Like, whenever I die, I always go into the world afterward to let the pets out, you know, to, set everybody out upon their quests. I don't think we're finding any pale oak this way, because I already know where we are. Well, that's okay. Almost fell down your stairs. Oh no. Even if you meant to do it like you're in the movies, that still sounds pretty scary. We need a panda. Look at this guy. Look at him whooping up here. Do they take fall damage? He might still be out there. Ah, pandas! I was like, he's climbing up here again. I know it. I can see him there. Look at him whooping around. That burst of adrenaline. That's the good stuff right there. Oh, right, bamboo is harsh. We need this one to come with us. I mean, I guess we could have multiple pandas, but I only really want the one. Do I feel like... I think these pandas will still be here, because these are the ones that we bred that panda from, right? Like ages ago, which is why I recognize where we're at. If you make that world and there's like a giant bird looking at you, then, well. And here's this exposed air lush cave thing, you know, the characteristic of all classy places. Isn't it so cool? Axolotl there, you know, looking over them. Because it's just like, I love it too because it's just hidden enough where if you're on the ocean surface, you won't catch it. You'll see the tree, right? And that tree, if you didn't know, you probably know, but if you didn't know, this flowering acacia tree is the proof positive that there's a lush cave underneath. But if you were just on the water... Made the floating island in a mill from Feel Good Inc. Music video. Nice, nice. If I know what that is, I certainly do. I certainly do. I remember when that album came out. Many a fond memory of listening to it with my friends. Made it look kind of wonky. Yeah, that's all right. It's all art, right? All right, we've got so much junk here. It'll be okay. No, Feel Good Inc. super good. They have a bunch of really great music. Specifically about Feel Good Inc. though, so there's this like YouTube music channel. They're called Postmodern Jukebox, and they basically do covers principally of you know, like pop songs and stuff, but they'll do them like in a different style. And they did one of Feel Good Inc. with a vocalist that was doing it like sort of in the style of like an Ella Fitzgerald, and it's super wonderful. But I have this, I think, wonderful habit of every time somebody talks about a song, if Postmodern Jukebox did a version of it that I like, and they often did, I'm like, well, did you know? But I think their channel is just really good. They're not paying me to compliment them, I'm just a fan. And we're just gonna put more junk into this box in the ground where all of the stuff goes. Mr. Pump, he's looking fresh. He doesn't need any iron to feel better. Man, I still need more gunpowder. Is the sun going down? A few minutes. We'll fight tonight. know. I would say that anybody could live for 1,000 days in hardcore if they play like I do and mainly just putter around their house and hang out with their pets and listen to Minecraft music and, you know, build lakes. No, it's a good time though. It can get kind of nerve-wracking occasionally, I won't lie. Trapped Wandering Trader with Barrier Box, Drizzle Noodle sitting on the edge. What a cool idea. Because those are like the invisible ones that you can put down, right? I haven't really ever played in creative mode. I have flown around in it before in one of my friends' worlds. And they were... Well, 4 of my friends' world, I should say. Friends', that's when you have more than one friend, but they all possess the thing. Friends' worlds. Great thing about the Fortune enchantment is that it treats the output of stuff like carrots and beetroot and potatoes like things that you get from it. With wheat, you just get the normal amount of wheat, but the wheat seeds are the increased thing. But of course, for these plants, since the seeds are the plant itself, that is how it rewards you. Which makes pigs a much more efficient way of getting the experience, and chickens too. But you know, you gotta diversify. I really should have built a chicken spawner, but I just never got around to it in this world. That was like my bread and butter in World 334. And then, just being stone cold blooded, we are eating cooked pork chops in the middle of the field because, you know, hey, when you're hungry, right? And also, some people like automate a lot of things, and I don't automate basically anything. I have a very small automated sugarcane farm, and then I have this one where I actually get the sugarcane from. But you know, you can you get to artificially inflate your runtime, you know, if you just like do a bunch of silly stuff all the time like I do. Like, oh no, for my experience thing, I go over here where there's like 100 skeletons always waiting. I'm like, oh, I feed pigs? No. I think it's so cool the way other people play, but in a way where I'm not going to do it that way. Oh, that's cool. I like that. That was a good shot that you got there with the sun right there framing it. What a cool idea. I really like that. Once I was playing, someone's like, I can't believe you... I, like, logged out whenever I was mid-air to do something. They're like, I can't believe you would log out in mid-air on a hardcore one. I'm like, what? What do you think's gonna happen? I've got wings on. There's some achievement where I have to fall from, like, the top of the world to the bottom. I haven't got it yet. Or rather, advancement. Because achievement is not what they're called. But I haven't got that one yet. I assume you just, you know, don't worry about it over much. But even though we didn't get the pale oak, we can still, like, make this place not look exactly like my house by making the walls pink. On Wednesdays, we build pink. And if you're saying it's not Wednesday and that doesn't make sense, you should know enough about me to know that I'm going to do a Mean Girls thing. I just am. I just like making Mean Girls references. I'm trying to think of, like, what direction I should even go in order to find more pale oak. Because I don't remember where the old one was. But it wasn't, like, a very big patch of a forest, right? And I don't think they actually trimmed that big. And they're 4-panel trees, like dark oak are, where you basically only get enough for one more tree out of one tree. You're eating the pizza Lunchable? Oh no. I mean, if that's your thing. Look, my thing about stuff like that is I just want it to get warmed up, right? I just want to microwave it. I just want like a pizza roll rather than a pizza Lunchable. Because I'm like a total animal, sometimes what I like to do is get like canned ravioli, and then I'll heat up pizza rolls, and then I'll like dunk them into it, and I'll make like ravioli pizza roll sandwiches, and I'll skewer them and just make like huge ridiculous mouthfuls of it. That's just one of the many things that I like to do with pizza rolls. Sometimes I'll get like the big like lunch meat pepperoni, and then you as the pizza rolls are like, you know, cooling from the microwave a little bit, you can put the pepperoni over them, and then it like goes around them, and then you can like, you know, make them like anti-dumplings instead of the meat being on the inside, it's on the outside, you know. I'm a real creative guy. There's a lot of great ways to eat junk food. Why did we not go 4 high? Yeah, much better. Alright, now it's got the most important thing that a Minecraft room can have. Bookshelves. And walls. And an open air ceiling. No, we need the, we certainly don't want to seal it up, right? Because we need there to be like a stairway up here, and then just have like a little pagoda type thing at the top. You know, I feel like that much is very obvious. Oh, I'm laughing because I was looking at what used to be this pillager tower here. I'm like, man, I wonder what happened there. Someone must have come in and burned all your stuff down. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. Who's the pillager now? Without question, my favorite of all of the names. That is... How did that just happen? That is weird. Because we're around here all the time, but I guess this is right. Okay. That's over to the left, and everywhere we always go to the right. I'm like, because you got to get a little closer. Because that was the first time that lava flow ever went down, right? Because it hadn't even hit there, and it hit cobblestone at the bottom. Or rather stone, and then you crack it. And if you want, you can just, like, sit here and burn up all of your cobblestone forever. There's probably a way to get it, but it just actually absorbs it first, you know, before you can grab it. Nobody knows why. There's got to be a way to do it where you don't ruin it at the end. But that's not it. But anyway, interesting how... I mean, because I've been on this world for 781 days now, and I live right here, and we still hadn't even gotten that lava to roll down the side of the mountains. Not like over there, where it's been rolled down for quite some time. I love this lake. I'm so proud of this lake. And the river, too. I mean, the river was like the whole thing. It's really more of a big canal. It doesn't look like a river. We could work on it. I doubt we ever will. Because the thing about the river is that if we expand it too much, it sort of steps on the toes of the other places, right? Because, like, if we make the river look more like a river, that's sort of like, that's going to impinge on Spawn Mountain, right? Because if we go over this way and this way, you know, what's left? We've already sort of, like, overtaken its identity with us even being here. And plus, we hunt creepers all around here. So we're gonna, like, go further away to do it? Have you ever been inside this floaty mountain? Do you know what's there? Do you want to guess? Look, it's not just wheat. We've also got beetroot and carrots. This is like this is the end of the world place. Like if everything is wrecked, you get here and then you've got your food, right? And then like as long as you can hold on. And then if you learn to fly, you can go up here where we've got pumpkins. Why would I have pale oak saplings there? That's so annoying. Man, that one's far, huh? There we go. Don't move. Aww. Clean. But as you see here, hardcore is really quite easy. All you need is perfect armor. Because hardcore is easier than easy is once you're decked out. No, easy's just... I can't even imagine what easy must be like if you have perfect armor. You must feel actually invulnerable, as opposed to just being, basically. Because I guess there's some stuff that hurts a lot still. Witches. But, you know... Thanks to Warhammer, we know that you suffer not the wish to live, and that protects you. Ave Imperator and all that. You know, if I just got closer to him, I'd have better luck than doing this. If that one hits him, nope, overshot. This should be better, though. There we go. 1, 2. Hey, Keepy. I think that creeper didn't think that I was shooting at him because I missed so many times, but I was shooting at him, actually. Hey, Calby. How are you? Indeed, it has been a little while. I hope you've been well. It's good to see you. Oh, no, you're joking. Oh, that's a hard knock life, huh? I haven't been picking up the gunpowder the whole time. Wow. It's okay. It'll be on the map for a couple more minutes. And due to the magic of map hack, it's not really a map hack, it is an entity hack, we will be able to find where the junk on the ground still is, and hopefully get my gunpowder before it goes away. Man, that's pretty annoying. Also, this is like, you know, it's like making you a wizard, because you can see where they're looking. And now we can see, you know, where the gunpowder is looking to. And you might have thought, I didn't know gunpowder had, like, directional vision. Well, I'm not surprised you didn't know. You didn't hit F3 and then hit B while you were holding it down. That's the only way you would get information like that. They don't teach that to you, like, in the schools or in the churches or, like, in the libraries. They don't teach that to you in the national parks. You gotta figure that out on the internet. They don't want you to learn that gunpowder has eyes, you know. And if you ever tell anyone, they'll accuse you of making it up. Little guys. See, these little guys, they will end a whole hardcore run. You gotta be real careful about them. That's what the water's for. A water bucket is your best friend in a hardcore run. Not anymore, you know. The water bucket and the shield. Because if you get those, you can just get in the water, like in the middle of it, and they won't be able to get up to you. And even if you don't have, like, your water walking enchantment, whatever it's called, the old Depth Strider? Yeah, Depth Strider. You'll still be able to move a lot more than some zombies. Take away their mobility advantage, and all they are is much more difficult to hit guys, as opposed to also dangerous. It's really just a bit rich that they get to do full damage on, like, how are they getting the inertia for that? You think a big zombie would hurt slightly more? You don't want to do that on hardcore until you're practiced. The funny thing about hardcore is it does turn you into a pretty focused player in terms of what are the timings of an Enderman. You know, like, other people do the jump thing for damage or whatnot, but I'm here to tell you that if you can just keep them stun locked, that's better. I still can't kill the creeper with my sword normally, but, you know, that's a separate consideration. Picked up some crummy copper thing, getting the recipe to burn it down into copper nuggets, which now exist. Good. That's what the world is missing, but unironically. Hey, good. Always makes me feel so proud to see the sun coming up. From like this spot right here, you can see the floating islands and Spawn Mountain over there in the other part of the frame. The islands of wheat over there. The village, a little bit of the river. It's a great shot. I think. You know, I'm not an artist. But I did make some of this. Oh no! Like they can't tell that we're out here, but I already knew that glass blocked eyesight because your pets will look at you when you're around. But Enderman, if you're looking through a window, won't aggro to you and try to teleport in, which I did have to check because I was like, you know, it won't be safe to have these windows if they're going to come inside, but they don't. Very defense. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I thought it was a cool little layer to it, in addition to the wall and the moat, depending on what section you're at. And they're a nice little decoration too. Because originally, you know, the house was just the house with the wall around it, and then I built the moat before the wall, you know, to protect the wall. And then when we made the expansion, gradually got a little more going on all over it. You got 89 bread day 1. Nice. You know, the thing about bread is you got to keep on eating it all the time, right? I think the stat is called saturation, maybe? I'm not an expert, you know. I can live in Minecraft, but I can't tell you what the words are. Because, like, even, like, the pork chops, like, they just last so much longer than bread. There was this brief moment where I was like, ooh, I should do like a lava moat. And then I was like, the lava moat will burn my house down, won't it? And then I did not do that. Why wait, when you can immediately build trees? Build trees? Yes, that's how to talk about trees. And that's why we're saying it. Now here we want to... Now often when you're like messing around with trees, right? You'll just like for laziness' sake, get up to the top, cut the wood down, and then like you'll just let the leaves fall where they may. However, for these, you really, because they're sort of sapling limited, you know, we want to be able to plant more. So you want to be able to get the fortune hits with your tool. That's much more important than saving a little bit of time on it. Because there, even with fortune, right, we got 6 saplings there, because we had 2 left over. So now we can make 2 trees, right? But if we hadn't, unfortunately, we might have only gotten like 2. And we'll just leave them there until I feel like doing something else with them. So I'd like to, like, have more mixed forests and stuff. A resin farm? Oh yeah, neither have I. I just needed some pale logs here for our silly little place. Because I was building it and then I realized I was literally just building my house again. I'm like, oh, dark oak on the walls and stuff. Daring, aren't we? You know, SpongeBob Squidward analysis meme. Whoops. The first one of the tree guys I encountered, I couldn't figure out how to do it properly right, so I just like imprisoned them in blocks. I like built them a little cage. Say they have a purplish tinge to them? I didn't see that maybe from like a certain angle. You know, these ones out here in the sun, you don't see it as much. I guess in the grays in between, it can look more purple than gray. Yeah, it was just like I was hitting them, it wasn't doing anything, and I'm like, well, I'm here to get samples. So I put some stone around them, you know, taunted them. I don't remember what I said, but it was rude, you know. You know me, I can really get all in on the trash talking of NPCs. I still never found cold pig and warm pig. I really want it to. It's like at this point, it's gonna take so long to get them home. if we ever find them. Because they won't spawn anywhere that was generated before that update, right? Because, like, look, I built the canals to bring the mooshes home. But that's a special case. Like, those are the mooshes. They had to be retrieved and brought home. Cold pig and warm pig are just, like, pigs I haven't met yet that would be cool to meet. The mooshes already existed. They had to be brought. And that canal, although I'll never use it again, is a proud accomplishment. Oh, Mushy Smalls. We were always gonna come back for you, buddy. Hello. Like, the usernames aren't displaying Renee? I'm looking at the picture, I'm like, I think I recognize that color scheme. Renee, yeah? I'm like, I can't see the display names. They're like your actual, like, account names up there at the moment. But hello. It is you. Hello, hello. They're the best mooshes. There's absolutely magnificent fan art made of Mushy Smalls by an old friend of the channel and viewer from the early Minecraft days. They're often doing other stuff now, but called Sid. But they did a couple wonderful drawings, including one of Mushy Smalls in the style of the Notorious B.I.G. with the crown and all. Oh man, it's good stuff. It's in the old community posts. If you ever go in there, you can scroll. It's not too deep in. Along with other fan arts done. Very cool stuff. But yeah, Renee, it has been a while. You know, we've just been just hanging out, doing our thing. Haven't been playing that much Minecraft, really. Been playing this mix of games, strategy games, platformers. But lately I haven't been able to decide what I want to do with games. Like everything that I play just felt like sort of meh about it, so figured I could just fly around in Minecraft. So that's what I did. So in a sleepover, cool, yeah. No, I have fond memories of being in school and hanging out with my friends. One of our favorite things to do was we would start a new game of Pokemon simultaneously. We have what's called like a Super Game Boy. It was this for the Super Nintendo, which is like an emulator that plugged into the actual console and played it on the TV. And so and then one of us, we would like swap, and one of us would be playing on the Game Boy and one would play on the TV. And we stay up for like 14 hours building our Pokemon teams, and then at the end, we would we would face off, and that would be, the real combat was who could build a better team. And we're constantly like looking at the other one and like cheating by figuring out like, oh no, he's always bringing the birds, and then I would just fake him out and then not bring a bird at all. Good stuff. Miss those days. But I mean, not really. I only miss the good parts about being young. I don't miss it at all. Don't let me sit here and lie to you with my reminiscing. Limtrix, you was stranded in a desert for 3 days? Hey, you found a village, right? That means you're not stranded. You're home. You live in a desert now. I recommend you find a camel and give it a good name. And a temple? Nice. I came very close to dying in a desert temple in this world. As a general rule, if I'm going down anywhere in Minecraft, like vertically, I throw water down that both shows me how to get back up and, is a deterrent to enemies, and it's just a nice way to traverse safely, right? So I see this lower room and I drop the water down. And then that saved me when the TNT went off, I think. New songs added? I haven't put more stuff on the Minecraft, because this is like a playlist of the Minecraft songs that I just like have on random or whatever. But I haven't put anything new on it in a bit. Unless I did and I forgot. Yeah, this is called Chirp. But I don't know. I don't have the data on the song for who it's actually even by. Which makes me think it's one of the older ones even. Which is to say, like, the very early era. And just, like, tonally, the electronics sound very, like, C418, just like the percussion drum there, the tom really sounded like the exact same tone from one of the other ones. I can never hear that stuff for other things, but like for drums I can sometimes hear it. Sometimes I'm just imagining it, but I'll just like, a song will come on and I've got my headphones on or whatever, and I'm like, this is just a drum machine. You didn't even, there's nobody hitting these drums with drumsticks. Every single tom hit sounds the same. Anyway, I'm sure they're coming up with a way where I won't be able to notice that anymore. Mr. Pump. Let's see how they're doing down here. Have they frozen up yet? Nope, they are still working hard. And this chest is oxidized, but it still works. What's the point of it oxidizing then? A single carrot, you know. Here we have our 15 ominous banners. You know, look what a good job they're doing. Sure, they're stuck because they, yeah, I don't think they don't have enough space for the things they have right now, so they're freaking out. And so they won't get to the stuff that they do have stuff for. Oh well. What are you gonna do, right? We'll just ignore them. The filing system was an okay idea. It would work better if I was more dedicated to it. What? No, not okay. Get up here right away. I cannot believe this. In my own house? How? How did this happen? Like, was there not enough light coverage? Why are they teleporting into my house? And stealing my dirt? Did he breach a hole in the wall? No. I didn't. I did not think that would ever happen to me. Well, that shows how unsafe we are. How many times has one tried to break in and Mr. Pump popped him? How many times have they broken in and then Garuda just absolutely murks them before I notice anything's happened? Anyway. Just strongly dislike that Enderman having been in my house. Look, if they had a house, I wouldn't go. I mean, I would go like a couple times to get an elytra and stuff, but I wouldn't keep on going. I would respect / fear them enough to not want to go. Carpet the house to spot roof it. Well, I'm not gonna do that. Seem to teleport to the highest spots from caves. Well, that would make sense then, because there's a whole deep dark nonsense around here. I mean, it wouldn't take too long. I just don't want to do it. Because I really like how the carpets are right now, but like, what if it wasn't very aesthetic? Guess we could get like gray carpets for it. That would be good. He took his bed back. Hooray! Alright, the Dreamer did get a job finally. But he remembers all the hard work of the wall building and has abandoned the bunkhouse here in favor of his old bed once more. Good for him. Because, you know, this whole wall got built for him. We're not going to wake him up. But, you know, there's a reason he's the only one of the people in this whole town with a name, besides Jorge Luis Borges. He's very important. He's the dreamer of the dreams. Cat getting rained on. Other cat getting rained on. We really did lose some. I don't know why I go back like in the middle of everything thinking we'll find him. Unless... I don't believe it! I don't believe it! We finally found him! I gotta be quiet. I can't be yelling that loud. We finally found him! This is a glorious day. He has been stuck here so long. Get out, Donnie. Glorious day. So, as longtime viewers will note, Donatello has been lost for absolutely ages. Because Leo's here and Raph's here, and then Mikey usually spends his days down here now. But I had lost Donatello absolutely forever ago, and we finally found him again. I mean, it's been months of, like, real lifetime since I've known where he was. And more than, like, 100 days of in-game time. So, a truly joyous occurrence. Absolutely the best way this video could have gone. Hopefully I didn't wake my brother up by yelling. New Nautilus mounts? Guess I don't know what that means. Yeah, got your shield, iron axe, pickaxe, sword. Nice. See, iron axe is like good, but like, oh, that's a thing I forgot to say earlier. So like a stone axe is actually like just so good. I think it does the same amount of damage as a diamond axe. Unlike the swords where you go, you know, 4, 5, 6, 7. But, like, the axes are, like, 9. Like, starting at stone, I think. So, like, for combat purposes, they're quite strong for that. Like, once you get sharpness on a sword, it's nice. But, like, I spent a fair amount of time with an axe in the early game. A water mount. Next time, Drown can spawn them with a trident in hand. That's so cool. And horses will be able to swim. Nice. Just like the simulations. well, let's get on to the end. Oh, I'm so happy that we finally found him. And how funny that it was from turning the hitboxes on and just looking where I've looked actually like 50 times before. I swim in there all the time hoping that we'll see him. And you know, there he was, just hidden by the current and the kelp. Joyous day. The Ninja Turtles reunited, but all good things must come to an end, and so too must this video. But first, it is time for the playing of the national anthem, Other Side by Lena Raine. I invite you to sit, stand, kneel, or dance as you prefer. Luca will dance. It's just such a good song. What a good little world. Trying to make a house in armor. Nice, yeah. Armor I make quick. The house... I lived in a house... That house right there with a little terracotta roof there. That addition was later, but I lived in that house for more than 100 days. Like, I think we didn't build this house up here until, like, it was after day 100. I want to say we, like, beat the Ender Dragon first, but maybe that's not true. Yeah, we just built a little fence out the front to make sure that nobody would break Garuda out and get him distracted. $784 days. But the key is to spend so many of them, just so many of them, looking out of a window at the sunrise. You know, for a game with a bunch of blocks, it sure is pretty sometimes. Yeah, you know, a gate is good protection, right? Because they'll never use a gate. You know, a zombie will never use a gate, but they will break down a door, I think. When there's like a whole lot of them. I'd felt tired for a bit, and then we found Donatello, and I was like all, now I'm wide awake, but I still got it in the video though. Because unfortunately, I wish I had more money than I have. That's not very punk rock, but, you know, gotta pay my rent, so. Got to sleep so I can wake up tomorrow and go to work. But I'll be around. Should be streaming maybe a little bit tomorrow morning, but, you know, or this morning. What a terrible distinction now that it's 1 a.m. But something tomorrow afternoon. Something. I'm just gonna kind of try to keep on playing games that I have until one of them makes me want to play it. There's gotta be something in the catalog. Just been down on a couple lately. That doesn't matter. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I really hope you've enjoyed it. It's been so nice to see y'all and putter around and fly through the air gracefully and then, you know, bash into some bamboo. That was good too. Find Donatello, wonderful stuff. But anyway, good night, KP. Good night, Lintrix. Good night, Renee. So good to see you. And, yeah, good night, that one boy. Good night, Diego. Appreciate all of you. And yeah, that's basically all I got for you. If you're still in school, make sure you study hard. And if you're not, then I don't know. Read Hamlet again. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna read Hamlet again. Maybe it'll be different next time. Anyway, good night, everybody.